Okay, I'm back and I'm live. This is Raquel with Paints and Glitter, and I don't know what happened to my other stream, but it went kaput. I'm here today with A Very Festive Fayre from Tonic Studios, and I am just sharing some live crafting. I'm making a card using the paper collections and the little buddies, the little kinetic dies from Tonic Studios. So I'm just going to continue on. I had taken a piece of white card as the base for what will be this card, and I'm going to be placing this little guy on the front, but I thought that perhaps I could make it so that he's on a little base here and not necessarily just on a 5x7 card. So I'm just going to cut and fold and keep on going. And my apologies to Kathy, who was watching on the other video. I don't know what happened. No idea. But this is YouTube. And I'm going to see if this will allow me to share this stream, because I would like it if people would join me. And let's see here. Okay. Giving that a try again. And if you're rewatching this video, I apologize for the back and forth. Just skip through the portions. I say that all the time. Skip through what does not make sense here. Okay, so I'm just going to fold these score lines. I'm going to place this at 2.5 here. And I'm going to see if this works. Because it would be like this. Super simple stepper card, in my opinion. Hola, sí. Se ve, dime cómo se ve. Se ve lento. Me tienes que dar el detalle. Please. Detalle, por favor. Ok, lo que ocurre es que ese no es el mismo video que este. Este es diferente y es por eso. porque tuve que empezar de nuevo. Eso es lo que viene ocurriendo, señora. Todo turbulento. Mi vida turbulenta. Okay, I think what I want to do here is I'm just going to cut this at 1/2 inch to give myself a little bit of a lip. No, 3/4 of an inch. We'll see if that works. Okay. I have a section here that's 3/4 of an inch, and then these panels are both 2.5 inches. I'm going to adhere them to this 5x7 panel. Maybe. Maybe not. Trying to think of how this will look once it's all said and done. I am double second guessing myself because I like the idea of making a stepper card, but I think I know what I'm gonna do. Okay. I'm gonna adhere this to the back. I'm just gonna join these. I'm now going to cut these, as I have said before. And that's the larger one. Lo terminaré porque lo voy a terminar. No hay quien me diga que no. Estoy de un humor. Me están haciendo un boicot en YouTube. Complete boycott of my programming. Maybe I'll do the whole video in Spanish. So if anyone's rewatching this, this is a bilingual video today. I hope you like it. Because that's the kind of day it is. It is here. That's the kind of day it is. Okay. Okay. Voila. There's my little oval that I'll be using for the background. And then for the rest of it, I'm going to be using this paper as well. I thought it would look really cute. The little children in the background. But then I need a piece for here. And I'm going to use the smaller cutter for this because I don't need the big one. I'm going to use this. So it doesn't need to be exactly 5 inches so that I can have a little bit of a border. Flip this over, mark it with a B. Me estás riendo por buen tiempo. Okay, so got that piece. And then for this, I need a 5 inch piece, just under 5 inches. And just under 2.5. For the front. And I have these left over that of course I can use, whether it be for the shadow of a sentiment or whatever comes up. Hi, Melissa! I'm sitting here chatting with, oh my gosh, with my mother in Spanish because my live video went kaput. I'm just at the point where I'm like, oh well, just start it over, trying to do this. Not every day that YouTube will cooperate. Oh, and it just makes me smile because it makes me tougher on the inside. And I feel so horrible because Kathy Gordon was here and she was the only one here watching. And then it's like, oh, I just disappeared off the face of the earth because, you know, that's what happens on this channel. But welcome, welcome, Melissa. Please share the video. I'm gonna try not to not to get all in my emotions right now. And yes, so if you're happy to share the live stream, I would be happy that you know what I mean. I'd be happy if you share the live stream. I'm crafting today with a festive fair using these darling little papers, and inevitably I end up with the green and blue. I did not plan that at all, but here we are. And I'm trying to make a stepper card with a little bit of a twist, which is of course the little bear being the interactive portion of this card. And I did spend some time making that little bear, so I'll be sharing that in a moment. Okay, I'm going to fold this again. All right, so the idea is that the card opens this way. However, I want to place that oval on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to adhere it to the back. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut another oval. I'm in. Todo lo puedo. Todo. I just figured out what was missing. What was missing from this, and I know exactly what I'm going to do to make this all flow. I'm going to cut another oval here because there's a method to my madness. I promise, there's a method to my madness. Método, todo tiene un método. If anything, people will learn Spanish when they watch this channel. If nothing else, how to do things backwards and how to speak Spanish. Why not? Yeah, is what I'm gonna do. All right, so I grabbed the largest oval again. For those who watch the video, and actually I'm gonna take away a little tip. I'm gonna place this oval here, and I'm going to try to score this as best as I can at about the 1/2 inch mark here. And I'm going to be gentle with this just in case I have to change it a little bit. But the idea being that I'm going to make this where the sentiment would be placed on this card. And I'm going to create a hinge by having created that fold line there. And then I'm going to place the second oval right on top. Make sure it's really nicely lined up. And the hinge can be like this, or if that's unappealing to you, you can do it the other way. Put the pretty side up and adhere it so that the hinge folds back. Okay? So it's either way, there's no wrong way to do it. So let's just go with that theory there. Let me think here a moment. No, for this card you can't. So I'm going to have to flip it over. The hinge has to face this way. And here we go. Let's just glue it. Just glue it. All right. So the hinge has to face forward. That's my point. For this to work, this particular card. Otherwise, it wouldn't matter. All right. The reason being that I'm now going to place this here. Okay. And I'm actually going to have to cut that portion off. Let me see here. Yeah. Unless I place it in the front. What I was trying to avoid was that portion being cut off. But beggars can't be choosers. I guess I'm going to have to. I don't know how I'm going to like that. But the idea also was to place him in the front. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to do my smart idea. It's not going to work. This is not working. Let's see here. No, it won't work. So I'm simply going to create a frame. It's all getting adhered. And I'm just going to have to be happy with it. Adhere that together. I'm going to place this on top. Let's pretend I didn't give that idea at all because it didn't work. This is just going to go on the front. And then this is going to go here. I'm going to only adhere the top there. So adhesive just on that bottom portion. Woohoo. And I kind of want it to be able to stop without going too far down. So I'm going to just place something here. And that something is going to be a little, thank you, Melissa. I'm making it up as I go along, not that you couldn't tell. That little something is going to be a little snowflake. That's what I'm going to do. It's going to place some snowflakes. And I'm bringing out an oldie but goodie punch from Martha Stewart. Woohoo! That's what the kids call an OG. Because, this is a great way to get arthritis. But at least one snowflake made it out of there. Woo! All right, this just goes to show that the paper is not flimsy. This is good paper. And the fact that I'm even able to cut that out of there is a miracle. All right, but I'm going to try to be clever with that. Because I am going to improvise, adapt, and overcome just like a Marine. I'm not going to let this defeat me. This shall be a beautiful card, whether it wants to be or not. All right. All joking aside, I do like to use groups of 3. Woo, baby. All right. I'm going to regret having used that punch. There's a reason it's been in a drawer for years. My hands are already hurting. But I'm going to take the glitter gloss pen from Tonic Studios and make these absolutely beautiful, because shine is important. It's essential. Shine is essential. You must have shine on a card. It's gotta be shiny. Alright, and this doesn't have color. Okay, so there's one of each of those. And if you want to, of course, you can add a little bit of color to one of these snowflakes, because they will then match the paper. And this is a distress crayon in weathered wood. This happens to be the same sort of blue that is in this paper, so why not? It'll be shiny and it'll be cute. A little bit weathered. All right, so there's plenty of water in this. I think I have a new one. In fact, let me see here. Should have. Yep, here it is. I want one that's a little bit more fluid. Come on, baby. Ah! All right, there it goes. The other one was dry, and then this one's super wet. Okay. Those little snowflakes are going to be my helpers, because what's going to happen now is that I'm going to be able to have that stepper card actually work the way that I wanted it. I'm going to place this so that it is held down, or held up, I should say, by these little snowflakes. Woohoo! I just have to be careful not to do them too flat, I guess. Let's see if I can use some of these dimensionals. I'm giving this a try anyway, no matter what. I may have to double them up. There's a little drop of adhesive there. Place another one on top. What I'm going to try to do here, and I'm sorry for my silence, I just got lost in thought there for a moment, is to try to sandwich this here, so that in the same manner in which this has a little bit of a sandwich there to hold that together, that's the concept that I'm trying to use here, so that this kind of slides in between those little snowflakes. Although it might be something that I have to double up after the fact, off camera. But that's the idea anyway. And what I can do also, just came to mind. Yeah, I'm gonna have to double that up big time. But in any case, I'll do that off camera. I'm just gonna strategically place these on here so that later on I can place the thicker paper on top. There we go. So I'm doubling up a little bit of that adhesive as well. It's all sticking to me today. All of it. Can't make this up. It's all sticking to me. Like, let go, please. Stay on the card. This happened earlier. Okay. Mercy me. Alright. And then there's going to be this one. And again, the idea is that this is going to kind of travel in between those little snowflakes. They're just a little bit wet right now. And they're quite delicate. So I might have to recreate the card maybe with thicker snowflakes than this. These were just the ones that I could immediately grab. And then put this little guy right here on the front. And you have to be careful where you place your adhesive here. It can only be done on these little strips that are in the center of the bear, because if not, you're not going to be able to have him be interactive. He's going to go right there in the middle. My little snowflakes are wet. Hope I wasn't too far up. Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right. I was hoping also to use the little tags, which I had mentioned prior. Let's see if I can show you those. Here they are. The little tag dies. So in fact, let me see if I can find, there's some options here. I wanted to see really quickly from the foiled papers here. Okay, so those are the same, and then there's these. There's these little guys that could go along with the bear if you wanted to place some more little critters on there. I don't know. It might look a little random. I really want this to stay though. And I think my paper is a little bit too wet. But the tags could go along with the other paper, which I have. And that's this one here. Let me set these aside a moment. Yeah, I think the little snowflakes, I do have some other snowflakes that you could cut out with this paper, matter of fact, and maybe I should have just done that. The foiled ones, it just came to mind. There's these here. I might replace those with these, because then I'll have foil on them. There's these little tags that I thought would be so cute, so let's go ahead and cut one of these little ones. I think this one would look really adorable. little children. I'm going to cut this out of the background. And then I'll use the die. So it's easier, of course, if you use the low tack tape to hold this down on your paper. That way you can ensure that you're actually aiming that shape exactly where the paper is. I'm not taking any chances there. And then there's the background to that. I would have used this color, but I'm just short of the height that I need. I'm just going to go ahead and do it in white. I need my little tape here, because if not, it will slide away. I'm going to reuse that. And that's another good thing about this tape, excuse me, is that you can use it many times over. I'm actually very pleasantly surprised with that. How many times you're able to use these. Okay. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think these may have sold out. I'm not 100% sure, but I just think they're so cute. And you can definitely add some shine to the edge of that as well. You can use your markers to add a little bit more color. That's super cute. And then this could be something that you add on a corner. So I'm actually going to take away this little snowflake, because the idea was great, but the execution not so much. So I'm just going to put this here instead, and then I'll put a little snowflake on top. I think that's going to work out much better for me. Yep, because they're still falling. Snowflakes literally falling. I'm going to put a little piece of twine in that corner. I happen to have some in blue. And what I would like to do, I generally do it with hot glue, and I don't have that on right now. So what I'm going to do is a faux knot here. Ooh, baby. Can't lose that. And then that way I can cover up that little portion where the snowflake was, because those are cute and everything, but they need to be more substantial for this type of card. So that was it was a cute idea, but not all ideas work out, as you're seeing on this video. That's how it goes sometimes. So I purposely cut this nice and long, And there is some texture to this twine, so I have to be very careful not to pull on it too hard. There we go. But I'm going to tie a bow here with those little pieces. Hello, Marina. Aw, thank you so much for your sweet comment. I always question myself when I'm doing a live video. I make the assumption that they're not good. I'm very hard on myself and I'm my worst critic. So that's the first thing I have to share with everyone. I have to be very, very candid about that. So I always think like, oh, nobody likes them. I don't think so, you know. But it's that, you know, I don't know. That insecurity, I suppose, right? But I'm totally tearing off those snowflakes. When something doesn't go right on a project, and this happens to me all the time, by the way, because it's so easy to get that false sense of perfectionism, right? Through YouTube, where everything looks so easy. But I have to share that that's not always the case, you know? Like, you're seeing it right now live. Sometimes you have to tear stuff up and start over again, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Um, I've done it before. In fact, there was another live video where I was making and I'm never gonna forget it. Of course, I was making a mini album, and it was one particular page spread that was like, nope, that's not gonna work, and I ended up having to rip the whole thing apart and I was sweating as it was happening because I was like, I cannot believe this is happening on a live video. However, I'm happy that it did because I ended up making a page that I otherwise would not have made. I love the design. I was so happy when it was all said and done. So, you know, that's how it goes. But I very much appreciate that, Marina, because it's hard sometimes to accept a compliment when you feel like you're not doing things the way you wish you could. And again, that's that false sense of perfectionism that we do it to ourselves, I think. Because I don't think anyone has ever told me, you have to be perfect. You must. All right, so I'm doubling up this black Craft Perfect dimensional adhesive. It just so happens that I have some of that here. And that's where I'm going to place this tag. And it's going to be a little bit topsy-turvy, a little bit up on that corner. I am loving it. Loving, loving, loving it. I still know this little guy wants to slide away from me. So I still need something else to hang on to him. On this corner. I'll complete my sentences. I'm going to cut this down a little bit because it's obviously far too large. Okay. So we're going to tag team this bear and make him stay. Whether he wants to or not. Alright, but I'm getting rid of all this stuff. And by the way, these adhesive foam pads are great because as you just saw, I can double, triple them, however many you want to put on there. Whatever makes it easier for you. And then let's play with this because I should have started here with the foam. How do you say this? Foil. With the foil. So let's try that because there's these little snowflakes. Let's give it an opportunity. I'm simply going to take the ones that I think I need, which are going to be these three. Ooh, I cut that close. Okay, going this way. Boom. All right. I'm actually going to cut these apart now because I want to give myself the opportunity to cut the shape around it larger again, because I want something here to stand out that's going to help me hang on to this little guy. Because I decided that I needed to make a stepper card for no reason whatsoever. All right, I'm going to grab my foil. And in this case, because we're going to with the everything silver, I'm going to grab the chrome silver foil. I think I've used this, yes. So it's already good to go. Just going to cut off a piece of that. That's like butter. All right, no heat is needed for this. I just saw a comment on Facebook regarding this. Someone was saying she had not yet seen it done. And I let her know. This particular type is just a rub-on with the adhesive. So then here I have to think about how much of a border I want and then place those accordingly. Just taking off that carrier sheet. Give myself a little bit more room here just in case. I'm going to use my little paper creaser as the friction here. I'm going to rub that. Now I don't have very strong hands, but you should be fine. And I had another viewer comment that she puts it through the die cutting machine to ensure that it flattens or, you know, has some really good pressure. And I thought that was a wonderful tip. And these particular snowflakes do not have coordinating dies that I know of. However, there's a Winter's Tale, I believe that's the name of it. The new paper collections that are already on Create and Craft and should be available through Tonic Studios very soon. And perhaps those have dies. I'm not quite sure because I didn't work with that paper collection. I'm over here on the US side. But I'll be excited to find out whether or not those have dies that coordinate with these particular foiled images, because that would be fantabulous. Oh, hi, Pauline. Yes, I thought it was really different. I said it when I did the unboxing that I wouldn't generally go for this type of color palette, but I'm glad that I did because, first of all, it's different, right? And the little critters, the cutesy part was what got me because Tonic Studios doesn't generally do a whole lot of cutesy. And I figured, you know what, that'll be a refreshing change from the norm for me anyway, because I do a lot of the 3D crafting, of course. You guys, if you're familiar with this channel, then you may already know that. I kind of have been, how do you say that? I don't know. I don't know the word, but I don't know the word. I can't think of the word. Directed, maybe, in that direction? I don't know. Whatever. It's not that deep, I promise you. Okay. Save that little bit of foil for later. Alright, so I very gently try to place this on here because I do want that nice smooth look from the foil. And I should just be able to apply a little bit of pressure again to get my little snowflakes. And I'm purposely not rushing this part because I've mentioned this before. Video editing can be very, very guys, I'm so sorry. My English today is just like not working. I need my English vitamins. uh, Deceiving. Oh gosh. You can watch pre-recorded video and think that this all happens in a matter of 3 seconds, but the truth of it is that, for me anyway, I have to be very gentle with this in order to get the results that I want to get. Because I can do this super fast and I'm not going to get that super smooth finish that is what I'm going for right this moment. It'll be a little bit more textured, and that's fine too. But I want to show you the difference because in the past I did another video and I just was like, you know, trying to go as fast as possible and I didn't get the same results. Okay, so hopefully you can see what I'm talking about there. It is super pretty. So much better than my speech. It is smooth, baby. I just think they're so cute. Okay, voila. Those are so adorable. Okay, so now I have the option, of course, of cutting these out. And I'm going to be using these scissors. I don't know if you guys noticed that these went on sale recently. They are wonderful because if you have hands like mine that are a little bit delicate, they don't constrain this, you know, your thumb area. And I find that to be fabulous. So here you have a couple of options. In fact, let me show you the other way in case cutting is not your jam. You can take a very light marker. In this case, I'm using gray. It's going to match my, you know, end result here. And just trace around it. Now pretend you did this in pencil first or whatever. Or you can just stick with pencil. And then just draw around it kind of loosely. It doesn't have to be exact either. And then just follow that with your scissors. So that way you're not wrecking your brain as to, oh my gosh, how far, you know, all that stuff. And this is just for fussy cutting, of course. It doesn't have to apply to everything. But it's just a little tip that I can give you in case you're not confident with your cutting. All right. And if it's not, again, if it's not perfect, don't sweat it. No one's going to come to your house and tell you how to do it. All right. So I'm just going to go around, kind of following that little line that I created. Very light shadow there. And the if you're going to do it in a shabby chic style, then of course, then just go to town, giving all sorts of texture to those edges. The other option here, of course, is to color this paper with your alcohol markers to match the background. If you just want it to stand out lightly, but not be so in your face. But my idea here is that I'm going to place it over here, like I did the tag with the phone. So Pauline, you have to tell me, have you started crafting with it yet? Because this is my first go around with this. And if I hadn't mentioned, this is 300 GSM card. So it makes a difference, I think. And it's smooth. Because if you apply the foiling on your regular Craft Perfect cardstock, you want to do it on the smooth side, not the linen weave side, because you will also get that texture, unless that's what you're going for, of course. If you like the distressed look, then you're going to love that. Okay, put this a little bit more here. All right, so I've got my little snowflakes here that I can add. I'm going to purposely put these here think I want to cut this a little bit smaller. Okay. Come on. All right. I'm going to layer this one back here. Hence all of that. Okay. So this little guy is going to go right here in between because I had already placed 2 cards there. In my little card fiasco. Place another foam piece here. I like to place it on the base first. Makes it a lot easier. Double that up. There we go. These are so sticky, by the way, that you really don't even need to apply that second coat of adhesive on that. And then this little guy can go over here. And I think I'm going to cut this one down a slight bit as well. All right. Okay, groups of 3 again. I am now happy with my card. I am. In fact, there is another die set, and it's not related to this one. It's an older one, which has a banner sentiment, and I thought it would look so cute. It's the one with the little star. It creates a little box. And here's what I wanted to do with it. Here's the banner portion. I thought it would look so cute down here. So I'm going to cut that out of white. And then what I would like to do is make the sentiment, it says joy. Or actually, there's this one that says let it snow. I think this would be super cute. Yep, we're going to go with that. And I don't know that there's a third piece for that. I don't think so. So I'll have to cut it out just a couple of times. But this was released many moons ago, and this is the die set Little Star gift box. It's no longer available, but I love to cross-pollinate in case you happen to have it. Then you will see it. Or you will see how it works so nicely with this. So what I'm going to do is cut it out just simply like this first with the white. Melissa, I didn't give up. I used to say that to some little people that I used to work with, and I mean children, not adults. That were not the easiest little folks to work with. I just say there's anything about me that I am tenacious. I do not give up. There's nothing that can make me give up. It's truly just stubbornness, outright stubbornness, but I call it tenacity. All right, so as I had said before, his little jacket and everything, the background was with this gorgeous ombre card. And so are his little accessories there. So I'm going to repeat that and just take that banner and cut it once again. Only this time, actually maybe, yeah, I'll do it solid with this color and then I'll cut it out with the sentiment with the white. Layer that on top. I think that'll look cute. So that way you can actually read it. So I'll place this here. And then I'm going to take that same little banner and place the sentiment on it and cut it out of that. I want to see how other people are using the die, or I'm sorry, the embossing folder with the little stars. I did see, actually, oh, wait a minute, this almost slipped on me. I did see, I think it was it Emma who used it on the cauldron? And she used the little stars on the panels. Right. Sorry guys, my dies are rebelling over here. They're not wanting to stay put. And it's because the plate is domed from using it. And if you die cut with plates, then you know what I mean, where it starts creating that dome shape in the middle. And there's nothing I can do about that. So, okay, pressing on this. Come on, cooperate with me. There we go. Okay, now I'll have my little sentiment. And these little pieces pop out of the back, but I think it's going to look really cute. Okay, yeah, I like it. I think it works beautifully with that. So I'm just going to adhere this. I know that I had, here it is. I'm going to place the amount of adhesive that I need there. And before I finish, I wanted to alert those of you who reside in the US that next Monday, yes, Melissa, I am. Absolutely. I have to remind myself to use the bigger machines because it's just sitting there next to me. I'm like, oh yeah, wait a minute. I gotta go back to the big mamas to get my die cutting done faster. But I very much love it. So you see that? If you'd like to, again, with that gray marker, you can use that for your shadows. And in this case, it would just be this portion in the back. But I was going to mention the fairy houses. They're coming back. It was announced today. I'm going to share with you the ones that I made. Again, today English is out the door. Just going to color around here to give this a bit of a shadow. Around here, do the same over here. This is not compulsory, but it's just me. It's how I craft. And finally place this on here, and then I'm going to share with you guys the little fairy houses. I love the way this looks because it follows the same shape of that oval. That made me happy. Okay. Place those back. But don't forget that these little tags are pretty much universal. They very much are, I should say. So you can definitely use them for so many things. And of course, you can keep going with the foil, adding it to little areas. You know, I can still use some of these little snow flakes and keep adding foil here and there. I didn't want to make, you know, this video 5 hours long, but I'm really happy with that. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and also use little Nouveau drops here and there to bring out the little areas of the sweater, for instance, that I had colored with a white Jelly Roll pen. And I had done that in my first live today where it accidentally cut off. But you can use all the different colors. For instance, I have this glitter drop here, and it's Sherbet Shimmer with the pink. So because I did the little ears in pink, I can add that to the little snowflakes and then get more of that color on here. And that way it's not absolutely monochromatic. It'll also help the pink stand out a lot, which is really fun. So let me share with you the fairy houses in case they are new to you, in case you're new to Tonic Studios for any reason. And then that way you see what you'll get with that. Because these are, well, you know what? It just dawned on me that the reason the video is so dark is because I forgot about the whole reflection here, guys. My apologies to you. I think if I cover that up, it's going to be a little bit better. I hope. And I have a little bit of a lag, so I'm waiting to see how that looks on my end. But let me set him aside. We'll look over these little houses. So the fairy houses were a huge hit. These were all over social media because people really liked how they looked. Because it's such a unique make. Of all of the 3D projects that I think I've made this year, this one, and let me think. Yeah, there's been one more other than this one that are my absolute favorites. I just think that the design is what really appealed to me. I thought they were so darling, and not only that, but the fact that there's so much included in this die set that you can use for other types of makes. For instance, the petals that you can use from this particular one, the little flowers that were available, the little vine, the little stones. Let me think here. Oh, the little windows that can be used independently just to create a smaller card. The same goes, of course, for this one. Hello, Rosh. Thank you, sweetie. Yes, I'm just going over these little houses because they're going to be available on Monday on the Tonic US site. If you click on my link, which is available in the description bar and also in the chat of this video, whether it be for the fair, it doesn't really matter. It's a wonderful way for you to help me with this channel. I am still trying to get it to grow, of course, so that more people on social media can come along and watch different tutorials and just different versions, of course, because the entire the entire design team, sorry, is absolutely fantastic. And I love to support everyone. And I encourage you, of course, to watch all of the channels. We all have a different take on how we do things, sometimes even different instructions, because, of course, we craft to what's comfortable for ourselves, despite the instructions that are available. For instance, today I was sharing earlier the instructions here. You know, I have to take a look at all of this and then gauge, okay, what's most comfortable for myself being left-handed and all that good stuff. So I try to kind of, you know, sprinkle a little bit of that when I'm crafting, and also make note of different things that I noticed. For instance, when I was making the back of this, one one thing I noticed is, and I'm going to share with you what that is, that this is the kind of the spine of the little bear, if we're going to give it a name. And then these little portions that wrap around his little mechanism here, which I didn't even, touch on too much. But you see how he moves? So the way that that's going to work will be, of course, contingent on how tight you wrap this. And what I noticed right away is that there are 2 score lines on this. So that lets me know immediately that that's not meant to fold entirely flat. That was the same instruction that I gave when I was sharing the kit with the envelope, and I shared how you could wrap that little portion for the key to that. Let me share with you what I'm talking about. So if you missed this video that I did, I was sharing in that one how to make sure that you could wrap this around the key before placing it on the envelope, and then that way when you were adhering this to the base, you wouldn't encounter an issue with that. So the same way that this is created is the same concept for the little bear and the penguin, where you're going to have this mechanism moving. This could be very easily be a key. So bear that in mind when you're using these dies, because of course, as I mentioned before, I'm going to have to adhere that flat. As I mentioned before, you don't have to use them only for their original intent. So let me go ahead and glue this because it's going to drive me bad. But it's something to, to keep in mind when you're crafting. We all learn along the way, and I love to just share those little experiences there, of course, because as you see, I share my mistakes live. I don't hide anything on this channel. Yeah, Raj, we go rogue. Thank you for confirming that, because I know that I'm not the only one. I take a look at them and I go, thank you for the suggestion, and then I just proceed to do what I want. Anyway, but that's what that's the mind of a crafter. We like to see how we can stretch things and make them a little bit different each time that we use them, of course. So don't feel like you're alone in that if that's how you craft. But yeah, back to this. These are really, really darling. There are the panels here. I've seen, trying to think of who else was it. There was someone in the Facebook group who had used the panels on the side, from the side of these little houses differently, and I can't recall where it is that she put them. But I remember thinking that was super smart, to go ahead and use the layers of these darling dies, make them your own, come up with different ideas, different ways to use them. And yeah, again, I thought this was a fantastic, fantastic collection. I highly recommend them. If you have any little parties, oh look, I forgot I had little flowers in there. Any little parties coming up, or anything that you want to gift, the size of this was the other thing that I found to be so substantial. And in that video, I did recommend using gray board for the foundation if you were going to use this as a gift box, because of the fact that you can fit so much, but inevitably when you're shipping items, things tend to shift and you don't want to lose the integrity of the shape, yada yada yada. But yes, the instructions. You know what, Rosh? You can, I don't know if you use the ones that were sent through our plans. You can, you know what? I'm gonna see if that actual color can be changed, because if it can, then I'll contact you and let you know. Because I don't know if you're referring to these or the other ones that we get. But the other ones, I've found that I've just, used my computer to expand the size. Um, and that's the only way that I can really focus in on those. Yeah. But these, I really like the way they're written now, more so than they were in the past. Um, I think they're much more clear. But yeah, I'm really happy with my little card, even though we had a little bit of a struggle to get to the end. The little bear and I, not the bear, I should say the card. The card foundation. I had an idea in my mind. I was going to have it open to the top, and that didn't work. So I had to improvise there, but I'm happy with the results of it. I like the little sentiment here, and I'm going to add a little more over here on the little tag. I feel like it needs a little more of that snow action, snowflake action. Um, and oh, I forgot about the little scarf. I had mentioned it as well, that this die set does come with that cute little scarf. Exactly. Yep. So so Rosh, yeah, so you're the same as myself. I don't get the package sets either unless I purchase them, which is the reason I even have this. You know, I don't get the package sets. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna see about that. But I quickly wanted to mention the little scarf here. And I didn't even put together the penguin, but it's the same mechanism. I don't think there's a huge difference there. The little scarf, I'm wondering, maybe he wants a scarf. He should be fully clothed, which would be easy enough. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. But let me know, you guys, do you have any feedback, any questions? I love to know what people are thinking. Especially, regarding the videos on this channel. I would love to get some feedback as to what it is that you'd like to see. I know a lot of people have asked me for memory book tutorials, and as I have said before, I'm more than happy to do that. The only issue is that um, there are, projects that we're all working on. Of course, as part of the design team, we're all working on something. Um, and so it has to be, um, maybe like if I did it through a Patreon or something like that, because there's a lot of work that goes into creating those types of tutorials, and I have done so many of them on this channel for absolutely free. um, oh, thank you, sweetie. It's my aim to, do all of it, you know, to to show kind of, how far you can take it. And not only that, but for me, this is absolutely enjoyable. It's a lot of fun. It is stressful to do it on a live video. I'm not going to lie about that, of course. Just because you don't want to have dead air, which happens to every single one of us. We have moments in which, like, for me, I'm bilingual. I'm thinking sometimes in Spanish, and the words don't come to me immediately, believe it or not. I may dominate the language, but sometimes it's like when your creative brain is on full gear, you don't know, you know, what's going to happen next. And then I'm playing with YouTube, which is not my best friend. I hate to say it, but even today, I started the live video and it crashed on me, and I ended up having to come back. And I feel so very bad because there's nothing that I can do about that. I can't control it. But my aim is to bring you good content, and content that's worth your while. And that's what I was going to say, is that I don't want anyone to feel cheated when they come to this channel. So if that means that I have to do maybe private videos so that specific answers can be questioned, or questions, see? There I go again. Specific questions can be answered. La 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 la. um, just I would love to know if anyone would be interested in that. And again, that would have to be like with a Patreon account. So I just want to know if there's absolutely any interest in that at all. Because if there isn't, then I'll just keep smooth sailing as I am right now. Excuse me. I need to drink some water. But I'm going to show you the little scarf because I just think it's so cute. And oh wow, that cut so beautifully. My goodness. I'm still impressed. I mean, sometimes these dies just blow my mind because all of that detail cut through the first pass with no problem. It's just amazing to me. And what I think about also with these types of products, and the reason I love sharing them, is that I may be, you know, the imperfect crafter who just has to wing it sometimes because there's no perfection coming out of this brain anytime soon. However, the product itself is um not the issue when those things happen. And that makes me happy because I know that I can stand behind it and say, you know what, I'm recommending this on this channel, but it's 100% foolproof. You know, the instructions are wonderful. You have several different people helping you interpret them because let's think about it. For instance, there's the ladies from Germany, and Melanie is able to do tutorials in German. I've had people ask me questions, and of course, as I stressed, I can help, you know, translate item or, you know, different things to Spanish. So that's very helpful. Um, to know that you can email a person or just reach out and request something, make it more clear. And there's several other ladies, of course, you know, and they're all amazing. So there it is. I think he was missing his little scarf. I do think that that little layer is adds a little extra special touch there. And of course, I could do you know, the little inlay pieces there. Um, oh my word. Yeah. Wow, Melissa. I was not aware. I'll accept the compliment. But you know why I accept the compliment? It's because I do know how long it takes to create the videos and the content. And I know, you know, what it's like to stay up till midnight and then get up again at 4 o'clock in the morning to make sure that things are a-okay on time and also the content of quality, you know. And that's across the board, by the way, guys. That's for every YouTuber. Um, I really feel sorry for people who get, you know, mistreated um on crafty channels and things like that. And I've witnessed this for many years because I've been the audience for so many years, you know what I mean, and been a part of this crafty community for a long time. So what I would say is that, you know, just like in life in general, never make assumptions about people because you never know who knows who. You never know. And the other thing is that it's it's also a matter of the availability of people, right? There are people who have been able to consistently pour into um, video making and all of that because they haven't had to um, walk away from their channels or take a pause or, you know, that sort of thing. And that makes a huge difference. For me, I had to stop my channel just full on because of some life you know, personal things that were happening. And I really think that that was detrimental to my YouTube channel. Just the fact that I had to walk away and then come back to it. So, of course, my goal now is to use as much time as I can to, you know, sort of bring it back. So just to let you know here, I'm using this paper to add a couple pieces in here. This is looking a little bit boring. So here's my plate. And I'm just going to grab the pieces from there, add them to that little scarf, and that card will be done. Now, do I always add this amount of detail to a card? No, you don't have to. It can still look fabulous without it, but when and if you can, I think it's worthwhile. Number one, because this is, for me, not stressful in any way. If this gives you agita, walk away. I always tell people this channel is a crafty channel. It's not for everyone. If this makes you anxious, don't watch. But for those of us who find this relaxing, to me, I can, you know, you can tell I can be here all day. I don't have to turn that camera off. I can just chill, keep cutting papers, putting them together. This is my happy place, a place of just sheer bliss and peacefulness for me. So there's nothing stressful about it. I'm just not a fast crafter, and I say that all the time, which is another reason why the whole editing process and, producing the content can take very long depending on who you are. So that, the investment of one channel versus another can be very, very different. Because if I were in my 20s right now, oh my gosh, I could do this, so much more easily. But that's not the case. And that's another layer of that decision making, because I don't want people to think I'm being stingy or that I'm asking for money either. I just have to make it worth my while. For instance, if I'm going to spend hours and hours creating content, because for me the sacrifice is huge due to the fact that it causes me extreme physical pain. And that's, again, if I were in my 20s, that wouldn't be the case because I didn't suffer from pain back then. It's just a reality that I have to live with. But it's not, as you can tell, it's not keeping me away from creating the content. My hair was just in the way, so I apologize, guys. My greñas. Okay, so I had mentioned earlier that I wanted to use this pink on here. It's called Sherbet Shimmer because I did the pink ears. And since I'm rambling, I figure I may as well just keep adding it because I really think it's a cute color to kind of add a pop to this that you may otherwise not use. But because there's so much green and blue going on here. Hello, Bonnie. Then I think it can be, done effectively. Let me see if, well, I don't want to really change my camera angle there. But it can be done on the letters. I'm just not going to go crazy with that. I'm trying to think if I did some white here. And I don't know if I saved that. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So here's what we can do. I'm going to incorporate some of this down here. Let's do the little stars and add the little papers. Because this is how I did it before. For those of you who just got here. to make it easy, make it look like you worked really hard without having to, right? You always work smart, not hard. I'm just going to color these with the same marker that I used for the ears. Okay, and you can save all of those little pieces, of course. Then what I can do, now normally I'd be doing this not after the fact, but you guys can catch my drift here. Line it all up, and then use the pokey tool here to place them in there. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you for noticing. I really appreciate you. And I'm not, you know, I think you guys know that I'm being sincere. I'm not trying to be facetious when I share what I share here. Because it's not about quantity, it's about quality for me, and that goes for everything in my life. That's just you know, that's just the way that I like to live. And then if you smush your drops, just do this. Pretend you didn't do it at all. Because I just did it on the snowflakes. I forgot about my hands all over this. Don't freak out. Never press the panic button. But yeah, I prefer quality over quantity any day of the week. My mother can attest to that. She'll tell you I'm a plain Jane minimalist. That person who'd rather have the $300 sheets rather than 50 pillows. It's just, that's how I am. Always been that way. Um, but there's, you know what? The cool thing about it, though, about this whole entire um, venue here on YouTube is that there's a little bit of something for everyone. So if you're the, like I said before, if this is the type of thing that's going to give you agita, then there's another channel down the street that's going to be much better suited for you, you know? But I'm happy, you know, just happy to be me. Cool with that. And now to tone down this pink, by the way, because I know this is looking kind of cray-cray on the camera. That's where the drops are going to come in. Because that drop is then, with that glitter, it'll tone it down. Okay? He's so cute. And normally I wouldn't be doing paper piecing on a live video, but this is going to be the last hurrah. Yes, darling, absolutely. It's here on purpose. So I'm just going to pop a little drop here and then fix my little snowflake that I had goofed up a second ago. Go back and do those little drops there. And I don't panic with that either, because I can always go back and once they're almost dry, with the tip of this tool, you can wipe out, you know, pull off an entire drop, just in case you didn't know that. Or any of those little strings, those come in real handy. Okay, so again, you can just tone this down. So I'm going to answer your question, sweetheart. Just going to spread these out a little bit to follow those little stars. Thankfully, this has that nice gelatinous type of texture, so they don't crumble on you. I really don't like the drops that when you put it on your paper, they just seep down and spread all over the place. These aren't like that, so I really am happy with that. Boom! Super cute! Okay, let's go back to this. So this is the fairy box. To answer Bonnie's question, and this is, by the way, these two come together. They're not two different die sets, because I think I forgot to mention that before. And these are going to be available on Monday. And that's why I was saying, click my link my links now. um, anyway, you're going to be able to use the dies from this set on many, many different types of makes, whether they be cards or just the boxes. But they had sold out. Thank you so much, Bunny. They sold out so fast. And sadly, they're not going to come back to the UK, only to the US. So if you live within the United States or the Americas, outside of the UK, you can order these. If you normally order from the UK, I'm sad to say that the US will not ship to those addresses. Um, and thank you so much. This was the holographic papers, what's in the background. It's my absolute favorite from Tonic Studios. And then the lavender is on top of that. The entire background, I don't know if that paper's still available. It's the apricot orange. However, right now, Tonic Studios has a 25% off of all of the Craft Perfect paper. That sale, I believe, ends on Monday, if I'm not mistaken, or Sunday, I'm sorry, if I'm not mistaken, or tomorrow. And the code for that is perfect25. You do have to enter the code. True, Barbara. Bonnie, that's what I'm here for, sweetheart. That's what I tell people. If you have if you have a spouse who's not too happy with you because of how much you're spending, just say Raquel made me do it. um yeah, I'm so sorry that overseas they're not able to bring it back. But I keep saying, I remember that Jody said that if that they were going to try to bring this set back. However, I know how Tonic Studios works. If they're not able to bring back the same exact set, chances are they're going to bring something back that's a little bit similar that will make you very, very happy. And then recently they released oh, sorry guys, my mind is blank. I'm trying to remember what we just made. Didn't we just make something with a house or no? I'm trying to remember what we just made. No, we did not. We've had some changes. We've had some changes and there's some stuff that I can't talk about. But I think that you guys are going to be happy with what's coming down the road. There's items that you may miss out on. The same thing happens to me, just so you know. I don't own every single die set from Tonic Studios, and I have not been with them for very long. I've only been on the design team for a little bit over a year. But the launches have been fantastic, and so yes. So Rosh is saying, I did the launch for the fairy houses on Create and Craft, and Karen said once the stock is gone, it's gone. So US are really lucky. They have stock outside, which is great. Yep. And I agree with that, because what's happened is that they send a certain number of die sets over to the US side, and that's predetermined. That's before the dies even go over to Create and Craft. And so I guess my suggestion there would be that if you do live in the UK or in the Northern European countries, if you can order through Create and Craft, chances are that's your best bet. I don't know, however, because I'm not very familiar with Create and Craft, I don't know how many countries they do ship to, whereas Tonic Studios UK does ship worldwide. It's just that they have a certain market and then the US has another market and they don't collide. It's not, although the US people have a better opportunity to shop, just because we are in a market that allows us to shop both from the US and from the UK. The difference being, of course, the price, because you have to think about currency conversion. However, for some people, that's not an issue. You know, if you have the money, then all power to you for that. It's just that I have to clarify because of the fact that I have viewers that are from the UK and then viewers from the US, and I don't want to ever confuse anyone. I just want to be very, very clear on that. But I did want to come along and share about this because for me, it's super exciting that they did bring them back um, to the US, and it's wonderful that they're giving people yet another opportunity to grab them. um, oh, okay. Definitely. So thank you, Rush, for sharing that because Rush is saying Germany cannot order from Create and Craft. So make friends worldwide and ask friends to help where possible. And yeah, absolutely. Okay. I see. I wish the shipping was cheaper now, because if that were the case, then I would say, okay, give me a number, guys. But I think that the shipping is just out of control. And I would hate to tell a person like, hey, you know what? I'll go ahead and grab you a set and mail it to you, and then have to give you the bad news that, oh, by the way, it's going to cost as much for the shipping as it did for the die set, because that's how things are right now with this economy. I'm hoping that it changes soon, but that's where we stand here. I know that DHL, I'm going to look into that because I know DHL ships worldwide. I just have not used it, so I'm not sure what the rates are like for them. I'm trying to think if I know anyone who uses them. But if you do know anyone who's familiar with DHL as a shipping company, please let me know in the comments. I'd be grateful to find out and, maybe pick their brain. Shipping from Create and Craft to US is $20. Yes, Rosh, I think that's out of control. I'm not going to pay $20 for shipping unless I'm shopping for something that's really heavy. Um, because yeah, I'm not doing that because it's a choice. It's just a personal choice. Not going to be doing that. Um, so I always wait. I wait for the US to get stock. If they don't, um, if I get to the store and the item's not available, I just miss out on it like many other people. And then I just move on because next month there's going to be a whole new collection of whatever. Um, and not only that, but there are certain sets that people look out for because they have a particular party coming up, or they make items to sell, that sort of thing. Because I'm doing videos, I'm not selling my crafts. If I were, then yeah, I'd be like on it. But that's not how I'm crafting anymore, so it doesn't. I'm okay with missing out on a set here and there. The But if things change on the US side, and I said this in a prior live video, if things change, the markets are always changing. And that goes for the craft industry and every other industry, depending on demand. If people are demanding the die sets, then things will change. But you do have to voice your opinion. And how do you do that so that it gets to the proper people in the industry? Then this is where you want to be on social media, sharing, whether it be what you made with a comment saying, hey, Tonic Studios, I really like this, please make more dies like this, or through the live videos. For instance, today Toby was on, and Toby's one of the designers from Tonic Studios. He actually is the one who creates the actual dies, or designs them, the dies, I should say. And I think there's 4 different people, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3. So if he's on a live chat, and people, of course, today were going crazy because it's a great opportunity to give feedback and say, this is what I'm looking for. Personally, this is the type of craft I want to make. So those are great opportunities too. Yes, Melissa, I believe you were saying some feedback there as well. And I'm add myself to that. Um, so the other thing is, of course, the Facebook Tonic Studios customer service feedback page. That is an exclusive page that's there to specifically reach out to Tonic Studios and say, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I want, this is what happened, you know. And all of those comments are read, by the way. That's not just there to you know, to give appearances that they maybe might help you. No, they're definitely read, they're looked into. And then there's the fantastic ladies, you know, Karen and Leo and Allison and them, and also Cam, who take a peek into the comments and then try to help as they can. And that, by the way, is extra work that they're doing on top of everything else that they already do. So it's just a really great team of people. Um, I know that they strive to do their best, and you know, to me, the proof of it is how, for instance, they treated me as a customer way long ago, and you know, and how they treat me now. It's just very kind of I would call it seamless. It's like the same expectation is that they're going to try to do right by you, and they treat everybody so kindly, and that to me speaks volumes of any company. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. Hopefully I've answered some questions. Hopefully I've given you some inspiration today. And don't forget that there's another Christmassy wintry collection coming up. That's gonna be actually, let me take a quick peek. I don't know if I have that information. Hmm. I don't want to escape from this video. I'm trying to think of how I could let you guys know. A Winter's Veil, I think it's called. Maybe Rosh knows. But that one was because, Rosh, did you work on that winter collection for Create and Craft? Because if you know the date of when that went live over there, then that gives us an idea. Awesome. Awesome, ladies. Thank you so much. But that's gonna be the collection with all of the little snowflakes, and then it's gonna have the stags. It's gonna have a lot of blues and silvers and grays and all of that. So if that's more your tune, that's where, you know, you like to craft in that color palette, then that's coming up real soon. Okay, so a week and a half. Thank you, Rosh. Because I'm waiting. In fact, I'm hoping that today, I'm hoping to get the candy cane collection today. So hopefully by next week I'll have some content with that. Let me know also in the comments, do you rather see the live content? If you'd rather I do a live video with that, then I'll do all my pre-cutting ahead of time. I'll try to make sure that I have at least one sample ready to go rather than doing it like I did today, which was long. But if you'd rather I do a pre-recorded video with that, then I can definitely do that as well. I'll leave it up to you guys. Good on you, Barbara. That's awesome. Yes, I haven't crafted with of course I can't remember the name. The traditional one. You know what I mean. But I'm wanting to dive into that one because I want to make some flowers. So and I haven't forgotten about that series, of course. So that's another thing that I could do if oh, thank you, Rush. If you'd rather I just do another flower video, I could do that too, because I can start crafting with that and get those flowers ready. And by the way, that's in reference to my flower series, which has been kind of speckled here and there. And I'm going to be, as you see here, for instance, this is one sample. I have flowers already made. I don't know if these are part of that. But in any case, if they are, then I have another set of these. But I think I've done 3 or 4 videos so far. I'm trying to remember now. And all of those flowers are set aside because once I reach 5,000 subscribers, then the winner that I'll select at random, which of course has to be a subscriber, has to share the channel on social media, you know, do all that good stuff, and leave me a comment stating where, then that winner is going to take home all of those flowers. And if you're based outside of the US, then what you'll win is a gift card to Tonic Studios. And I've announced that on other live videos, but I wanted to make sure I repeated that in case you didn't know. Okay, so you're a good girl, Melissa. I'm waiting to see what you make with it because I know it's gonna be gorgeous. But yeah, I will be back. I'm gonna take a break because I don't think I've not eaten today. But I'll be back with the candy cane collection and the timeless tidings. I'm just gonna, see what I make with any one of those. But I very, very much appreciate your feedback. I thank you guys so much for stopping in. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, that's okay. And don't forget that if you want to support this channel, the best way that you can do that is to click on the links in the description bar or in the chat. They're both available on this video and any of the other ones. Awesome, Melissa. I look forward to seeing those. And if you have any questions, if there was anything that I didn't answer in this video, feel free to reach out. You can always reach me at paintsandglitter@gmail.com. And as I've said before, it does not have to be craft related either. Just, send me a quick message if you have any questions or if you just have something to say. And yes, God bless you guys. You have a wonderful weekend. And as I always say, I hope that you can be inspired and be blessed. Ciao, ciao.